Alright, here we are on the weekends. You can see it's pretty dang hot in this shop. Hopefully soon I'm going to have an air-conditioned space to work in and do videos. But nonetheless, what we're doing here this weekend, Hunterworks, is this is 18 XP1000. It's got the newer style secondary clutch on it, and we're continually talking about the low-speed noise that these newer secondaries are creating and trying to get to a solution on it, but so far not been successful. So the next few frames or series of videos here, it's just where I've been, and this is part right here is after the fact, but I was swapping secondaries from one. I had a Ranger 1000 one. I was swapping some springs, swapping some helixes, different things to see if I could make it quieter. And actually one of them, there was no noise at all. So let's go to those videos first, and then we'll come back on the tail end and talk about it a little bit more. This is just a different secondary. Quiet secondary, and I swapped the spring from the loud secondary to see if the spring pressure changed it. Alright, so now that we've seen those videos, and we went from this one making noise to the one that did not at all, to the same one that did not with a different spring in it, and then helix and so forth, we saw that loud, no noise, whatever. So what I figured out is one, the source of the noise. The source of the noise is right in this area, or actually all the way around, where the clutch is squeezing on the belt. Now, if you've read our little tech article on this, the root of the problem is in this new secondary, the load over diameter of the bushings used in this new secondary doesn't allow this thing to be as stable as it needs to be at slow speed. So it's got a little vibration that creates a sound, which in turns at a frequency that's kind of a high-pitched deal. All right, now the things that make it worse is when a vehicle's brand new, brand spanking new, with a new belt, you'll hear it, and then it'll go away. If you don't make any changes or have the need to make changes or whatever, it's relatively quieter. I will also like to add that some of the other vehicles, a Ranger 1000 with it on there, doesn't seem to make much noise at all. Maybe some of the 900s with a weaker spring and all won't either, or General or whatever. But the point is some of them do, and it's not everybody's, but you're lucky if it didn't. All right, so what we've discovered today, or I did, unfortunately we still don't have a fix, is the sound is directly proportional to the spring rate used in the spring and the age and or thickness of the belt. And then there are other variables. But before we get to the other variables, is if you needed, say you put big tires and you haul butt and you want to get a clutch kit, well, that clutch kit by any brand is going to have a stiffer spring. Guess what? It squeezes more here on the start. It magnifies the sound. You go buy a new belt of any brand, it's going to be louder for a period of time. You put one of Hunterworks thick belt on there, same thing. It's going to be louder for a period of time and it'll go down. So everything that we're doing to improve something on this is increasing that noise. Some of it goes away like the belt, but the spring stuff does not. All right. So the next thing that you got to consider is the snorkels. All right, homemade snorkels have a tendency to just magnify sound, and we usually are putting them up by our ears, and it screams like I don't know what, bloody murder, whatever. So that doesn't help us. The big tires, guys, whatever, anything that increases load. If you had, say, a 4-seater 1000 with 32s and 4 heavy people and going slow and up a hill, as you can imagine, a really big load, this thing is really going to whine at you doing that until you speed up. All right, so like I said, is spring rate, new belt, thick belt, load, tires, snorkels. They're all creating and helping this sounds, and so you figure out how to minimize it. The bad news is you might need a clutch kit or need this thick belt for other things. You just got to listen to that crap going slow. Now, you don't hear it on the previous videos here so bad, but by the time it comes through the piping here, it's pretty loud on the top end, same kind of like that snorkel that I was talking about. So in the end, we do not have a solution. I even attempted on one of the secondaries in the videos to put some rubber stickies on here in different places to use as a dampener. Kind of redneck, but I mean, we're trying to get this done. I had some O-rings. I just done a bunch of little oddball stuff I don't even want to talk about because it's just kind of rednecky. And I've certainly talked to everybody and their grandmother to figure out what it is. And one particular guy that works at the manufacturer said he's been trying to stop the noise with this present design for a long time and just been unable to, due to that load over diameter and them bushings. So I don't feel like I'm whipped yet on this, but for today I'm hollering calf rope, and more than anything this video is just an explanation to why you have the noise and then some of the things you could do to lessen it. And at the end of the day, turn your dang radio up and quit listening to it, and let's move on. From here at Hunterworks on the weekend where it's hot as hell, if you need anything, give me a call.